Well, for more on this, I'm joined by the MP, Jim Shannon, who's a member of the Defence Committee. Jim, what prompted this inquiry?
I think there was concerns expressed by my constituents that I would express to the chair of the committee. There was a number of MPs who had received equal concerns from their constituents, and there seemed to be, if I can say with respect to disregard for how the anti-malaria drug was administered.
So these were military personnel saying that we've taken this drug and we've been affected by it?
That's exactly the issue.
And what sort of effects were they?
Some of the effects had, just to give examples of my constituents, they had psychotic effects upon them. They were having nightmares and bad dreams. There were breakdowns of relationships. Marriages were broke up. They lost their homes, their jobs. Many of them went from home to home.
But was it easy to identify the fact that Lariam was responsible for most of those cases?
Probably not initially. I think the concerns came about because obviously our constituents had said to us they were experiencing side effects from some of the drugs that they had taken. It became very apparent to all of us in the Defence Select Committee that this was an issue that needed to be addressed because it wasn't as if the reports were stopping, they were continuing, and if they were continuing there was something wrong. So that's why the defence...
Why wasn't the MOD following those guidelines issued by the manufacturer, by the looks of things?
Well, the inquiry gave us that chance to look at that, and I think the inquiry brought out the issues. It was clear that whenever a soldier's called up, they may have 24 hours, perhaps 48 hours to prepare themselves. What does a soldier want to do if he's got that short period of time? He wants to, maybe if he's a single man, he wants to have a beer with his mates. If he's a married man, he wants to spend some time with his wife and his children. Those are the facts. So what we need, and the guidelines said it, we need one-to-one. We need to discuss these matters with you. And unfortunately, that didn't take place.
But of course, some of those soldiers didn't take the drug at all because they knew the side effects. What happened to them? Presumably, they'll get malaria if they're malaria.
Well, the side effects were. I mean, the purpose of the drugs is to stop malaria. So those who didn't take it, obviously, were leaving themselves open to getting the malaria, and that was one of the problems. So you've almost this catch-22 where if you take the drug, in some cases it may affect you, and those who didn't, then they had the chance of getting the malaria disease.
What is the aim of then this inquiry? Is there going to be another investigation, maybe even compensation for these soldiers affected?
There's a number of things we want to do, and I suppose maybe the first thing we want to do is make sure that those who have taken the drug have access, and that's one of the recommendations of the report, access to the health service for help for those veterans who have experienced nightmares and delusions and psychiatric.
Is there a cure then?
There's a method of addressing the issues, and I think that probably needs to be done. But there are side effects to it, which takes a bit of time to go out of the bodies. The other thing is that we have to ensure that the MOD and the soldiers and the officers who look after it have that one-to-one when it comes to administering the drug, and make sure that they follow the guidelines that are there.
And just finally, you think that inquiry will achieve this?
I think the inquiry that we've had has highlighted the matter, raised the awareness, put forward our viewpoints on behalf of our constituents, has found out that the MOD were not carrying out the system and the guidelines that they should have been, and when we wanted the face-to-face individual risk assessment, it needs to be conducted. We need to make sure as well that only after the patient has been made aware of the alternatives and has been given the choice, because we need to make sure they've got the choice as well. Quite clearly, the MOD in this one has fallen down. They haven't administered and adhered to the guidelines they should have. Many soldiers have suffered as a result, and it's time that the MOD got their court in order and got the thing right. I believe we've done that to the Defence Select Committee, and things are moving the right way.
Jim Shannon, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Bill. Thank you.